Hello, Trimley. I am Kim Shapira, and today we are going to spend 10 minutes discussing, and I'm going to read this because it's a very lengthy title. Today we are discussing mindful eating and how to tune into your body's hunger cues. We want to explore practical techniques to eat mindfully and avoid overeating. Okay, so let's get into it. First of all, mindful eating means simply to know where your mind is without judgment. That's tricky already by itself. Judgment could look like, why would I eat that? You're terrible for thinking about it. This food isn't healthy. This is junk food. I'm too fat to eat this. Why can't I stop myself from eating it? This is not good for my body. Any of these would be considered judgments. So, first off, here's how I want you to start thinking about your relationship with food. We're going to go forward and call food food. We're not going to label it as good, bad, healthy, unhealthy. We are going to start calling every single thing we eat a banana. And we're going to do this practice of calling it a banana just until we start recognizing we eat when we're hungry and all food is created equal, unless we know that it's affecting our body in a way that is giving us a headache, clearing our throat, runny nose, tearing eyes, burping, bloating, gas, stomach noises, constipation, diarrhea, joint pain, lots of those kinds of things. When we are putting it together that food is making us feel anything but well, then we're not going to place judgment on the food. So think about it this way. If I were to hand you a banana, you would immediately think, why is Kim handing me a banana, right? You wouldn't just open the banana and start eating it because, again, you didn't ask for it. I just handed it to you. And there's something about a banana that makes you feel very safe that you can put it on the counter and walk away, trusting that it will be there when you need it. And so if we can this week start calling everything a banana, we start gaining trust around food. And this is very important. Anytime you're trying to lose weight or you're taking a medication to help you lose weight, it's like you have to start also be working on your relationship with food to be able to maintain that weight loss. So simultaneously, this kind of practice supports long-term results. Okay, mindful eating, to know where your mind is without judgment, and also to start calling food as a banana. So every single person can have between 3 and 5 emotional triggers in their life. We develop them in the first 6 years of our life and anytime we go through something traumatizing. So like 9/11, for instance, COVID, for instance, and lots of other dates that we can pick out that affected us. And each one of us is affected differently. Think about COVID. Some of us wanted to leave the house. Some of us didn't want to leave the house, right? We're all affected differently. And so, what happens when we develop these triggers is we work on mastering them the rest of our life. But what happens in real time is that we could wake up today totally rational. And in our rational mind, we know food is fuel for our physical body. And my body is right here. And it has 43 trillion cells that require water, food, and nourishment. Therefore, food is fuel for my cells. But the second I become emotionally triggered, suddenly I am thinking food is comfort, food is joy, food is fun, food is entertainment, and also, and maybe, food is the enemy. And so, anytime that we are not thinking food is fuel, it actually is a signal for you to recognize you're not okay. Any single time that you think about food, it's a signal for you to recognize that there has been an alarm that has been pulled in your mind, and you have to check in with your body. And the way that I like to think about this is that if there was an alarm going off right now, it would be more important than you and I finishing this conversation. You would get up from where you're sitting, you would go turn off the alarm, then you would check your surroundings and make sure you and your family or whoever is with you is safe. And only when you have deemed the property safe would you feel comfortable coming back to this moment. So let's treat every single thought that food is a good idea as an alarm being pulled. Okay, fine. The alarm is being pulled. I'm going to go to the alarm center, take 3 deep breaths. And my favorite type of breath is to inhale from your nose to your chest, and then a further inhale to your belly, and then a long exhale. This is very, very nourishing and delicious for your nervous system. So it helps turn that alarm off. So we can practice together right now. So we're going to inhale from our nose to our chest, and then keep it going to your belly, and then a long exhale through your nose. So good. Okay, once you do that 3 times, so first you detect, I'm having a thought about food. Now I'm going to take 3 deep breaths. And then you're going to scan your environment. What is going on with my body that pulled the alarm? Is it because I'm hungry? If you're hungry, that means you're not okay because all your cells are looking for sugar. They're looking for glucose to help fuel you, right? Is it the alarm being pulled because you're stressed? Is your chest tight? Is your neck hurt? Do you have a headache? Do you feel like your throat is constricted? Are you searching for something? Is there like a need of something? Anytime you have a thought about food, you're going to check in with your body and you're going to make sure you're safe and figure out why the alarm was pulled. This is mindful eating. And this all takes place before you start eating. And the truth of it is it could take 30 seconds to accomplish. It doesn't have to take a long time. So it might feel like somebody told me today that it felt like they had to do a lot and they didn't want to think about it. I get it. I get that we don't want to think about it, that I don't want to have to participate in knowing where my mind is before I eat. I get it. And the reason I get it is because our mind doesn't like to do hard things. So if we think about doing a plank, right, that's hard. And usually we have a trainer or somebody telling us, let's go, let's do it a little bit longer, right? And that is why we can stay in it longer. Not because my body feels weak, but because my mind is resisting the need or the want to stay there. And our mind's job is to make every moment more pleasurable for us. That's how we survive. We don't stay in uncomfortable situations, but the truth is we can. And that's what mindful eating is. It's actually recognizing I'm a little uncomfortable right now. I'm slightly bored. I'm very stressed. I'm annoyed. And also, I'm not hungry or I'm hungry. And eating the amount we need for the moment we're in, not really worrying about what our next meal is. So I hear all the time, it's 4 o'clock. I'm going out for dinner at 6. I'll just allow myself to stay hungry. That's one way to do it. But if you're really hungry at 4, you may be too hungry at 6, and that always causes us to overeat. So having a small snack will prevent overeating at 6. Okay. I always want sugar when I'm stressed. Just want to make sure. Great question. One thing that I would say as far as mindful eating and always wanting sugar when you're stressed is just to say, I'm stressed. You know, what happens when you actually admit it? I'm stressed. You know, like, does that unhook you from the drama of the whole thing? I am stressed. I'm stressed. What's good about saying you're stressed is you're not sweeping it under the rug, so pressure doesn't build up and it becomes like uncontrollable. And the second thing is once you've recognized your stress, and that's why the alarm went off, you can actually reparent yourself here. So if you were friends with a child or you have a child, just imagine, and you can even use yourself, like bring in an image of yourself at 10 years old and say, I see that you're stressed, and then tell them to go eat. And what you would find is that's quite abusive. And what you really would tell your 10-year-old self or a 10-year-old child is that it's okay that you're stressed. It's going to pass, but we can do some breathing until you calm down. but food isn't actually going to solve the problem. But your mind remembers the last time you felt this way, you ate sugar, and so that's why it's telling you. It's up for you to tell yourself and your mind that you're okay. The last thing I want to leave you with when you're having this stress and thinking about sugar is just to ask yourself, I wonder what else my mind is going to think, right? I wonder what else my mind is going to think. By questioning this, by becoming the observer of your mind and not engaging, what happens is you can break the cycle of the thought. Okay, I hope this helps. I'll see you guys after the new year. Happy holidays.